All right. Welcome, everyone, to the 6th episode of RadioHouse. I'm Anthony.
I'm Ben.
And today we'll be listening to another album, as always. I mean, what else can we do?
That's what we do.
I mean, we can just watch TV and just talk about stuff from the TV, but they won't see that point of view.
Yeah, we could just lie.
I
like the song. I don't like the song too.
This episode, we're watching TV. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Exactly. All right. I'm lying, of course. Today we'll be listening to an album by one of my friends, Nick Lang. This is his second studio album. He has a couple of EPs. I own all of the vinyls that he has ever released. Today we'll be listening to the long sought after Spirals vinyl. I don't know if you can see that well on camera. These vinyls weren't released to the public for a year after the album was out, so he released the album maybe in the summer of 2022. Yeah, I think it was like June, July. He released the album, and then he went on tour, like his first ever tour, where he was actually like the opening act, and I went to go see him in New York, and he had the vinyls ready like just in time. So that New York experience was a blast. I'll probably throw pictures up in the background there. After the concert, me and him Ubered back to his after party where he DJ'd for the rest of the night, which was
so
sick. Cool. Got to be behind the DJ booth. I got him to sign the vinyl. I say he's a dear friend, but he's like an internet friend. Like I messaged him in 2015 when he released his first EP. It was like one of the first kind of music that I was like really like, wow, this is good.
So you're such an early fan that there's like a friendship around.
Yeah, exactly. When he saw me outside of his, like, just before the concert was starting, I was like one of the first in line.
Yeah.
He walked out just to get a breath of fresh air, and I was like, what's up? And he's like, holy shit, you're actually here. Like, I cannot believe. And then like later after the concert, people were like, this person came from here, this person came from here. And he'd be like, that guy over fucking there, he came from Canada. What do you mean? Like, this guy is from Canada. Okay?
Yeah, what do you mean Philly?
Yeah. So, it was an amazing concert, really good live. He struggled with making a bit of music after his release of Lemons.
That's the one you bought me.
Yes.
Yeah. So you bought me this album, I think almost a year ago or more.
It was 2 Christmases ago, so not last Christmas, but the Christmas before.
And I haven't had an active record player since. So when you bought it for me, Caitlin and I threw it on, and on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think the night you bought it, and really enjoyed it. I remember there was a song where it fades into harmonica. There's a harmonica solo or something.
That's this album.
That's this album?
Yes. So I gave you Lemons.
So I went on Spotify and listened to the album.
I think you listened to this. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's because this one
my bad.
wasn't on vinyl yet.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So,
okay, cool.
But yeah, after I got the vinyl, it was still like under the Nick Lang community, it was very sought after. And I just like getting Nick Lang's music out there because it's so different from basically anything else. But I feel like I understand it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
It's so different, but it has like the right amount of pop appeal. Mm-hmm. It's really well done. Yeah.
He's a really interesting person for sure. I don't know much more about his life story other than he just one day up and went, I'm going to start a music career. He was like never had interest in it. And then that first EP that he released called Tunnels and Plains was when I was like, wow, I'm going to message this guy and tell him that his music is good.
So if I remember correctly, is it kind of like a Tame Impala thing? He's playing all the instruments and producing it?
I think he has definitely lots of help with producers.
And then like he plays piano.
He plays piano really well.
Yeah.
I think, in the concert, he had like a modulator and a piano, and he was doing all of that. But he had a drummer and a guitarist or a bassist.
Yeah.
I think he was just switched between the two. Yeah. The album art's also kind of interesting. I don't know. It's like one of Beach House's albums. It's got this like checkered pattern. You know how much I love.
Let me see.
Mr. Old Man over here. This was a drawing done by I think another one of his friends. I'll have to get more detail. I actually don't know a whole lot.
Oh, so it was brand new when I listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. When I gave you Lemons, I think he had just released this one for a little bit, and I think I wanted to like kind of slowly get you into Nick Lang a little bit.
Yeah.
I also like the main one I gifted you was Alt J's and Awesome Wave.
Yep.
And then I gave this one to you as like a side gift, like listen to this artist.
So I think I actually remembered it wrong. I think I probably listened to Lemons, but then we made a playlist. We made a playlist for regular listening that had other stuff from Alt J and other stuff from Nick Lang. And then I remember that when that harmonica came in, I had no idea who it was.
Yeah.
So I got the story wrong a few minutes ago, but I had no idea who it was. I was like, is this some like remix of Neil Young or something? And it was like, I meant that in the best way possible. Yeah. And then saw that it was your friend. I was like, cool.
That harmonica part in this, like, there's been so many times on different occasions where I've listened to this album just like on Apple Music, and it got to that harmonica part, and I actually like completely zoned out, and I'm pretty sure I was just like in the universe that he made around
that's
that.
What it is, yeah.
And I actually just had to like pause and message him and be like, dude, like I get it.
Yeah.
I fucking get it. This is amazing. He came out with this album, and I was sick in bed, and I listened to the first 3 songs, and they all like, I love albums that one song flows to the next, flows to the next, flows to the next.
Yeah.
So when those 3 songs all kind of just conjoined as one song, I was like, holy fucking shit. Didn't even listen to the rest of the album. Just started from the beginning again. I was like, I need to do it again. And then I messaged him. I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like, this is an amazing album. And then he announced his tour, and I was like, holy shit, I'm an adult. I can just go to New York, and
I can do things.
I can just fly to New York and watch his concert and then fly back. All right, let's just get into it. Let's just fucking go. Oh god, it takes so long to get back.
Nice piano. Mixed really well for stereo.
There's so many textures in this album.
Yeah.
It's amazing to listen to in like a full range. And he said that his girlfriend talks about this part as the Willy Wonka boat scene when they're like flowing down the chocolate river like this here.
I can see that. Very cinematic.
Yeah.
Trippy.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word commercial, but I use that word when I mean accessible.
Yeah. Like easy to sell.
Yeah. It's almost hard to even critique because I'm just having the experience.
Yeah, you're listening to it.
I'm not a consumer right now. I'm just a guy having an experience.
Yeah,
it's different.
Because you're listening to it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You kind of want to hear what it has to offer.
And there's so much in it. I feel like my musical ADHD is satisfied the whole time. I have no time to critique it.
Exactly.
I'm taking it in.
The drums are so good. It's there's something to follow.
Yeah.
Every time you listen to it, there's something else to follow.
Yeah. You always have the listener's ear the whole time.
Yeah. And that's why I was so amazed when this album came out. I just kept listening to it over and over again.
Yeah. And he's obviously a very great piano player.
Yes. Oh, he's an amazing piano. He taught himself.
Yeah.
From what I remember. And he taught himself like a year before he released his first EP.
He's even like really modal and jazzy. Like a lot of changes happening.
He's all over the place, and that's what I love about it. But it's like a controlled. Like this is how I would imagine people who like jazz.
Yeah.
Like jazz.
Yeah.
Like
the music is like this, but the vibe is actually really smooth.
Yeah.
When you take it in that way.
Did you like that transition from song?
So there's another song.
This is a song too.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I'm just in for the ride.
The backstory to this song, it's called Two Birds.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend, when they were like looking out the window or something, they would always see two birds. Just like and then it became like a little inside there. He's like, two birds. There's two birds. That's cool. And now I do the same thing. I'm just like, two birds.
I was iffy until this part.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like the you like synths a lot.
I like instrumental sections a lot too.
Okay.
Because there's only a few vocalists in the world that I really connect with. I usually listen to the music.
Yeah.
So instrumental sections, when things get trippier, I'm into it.
Right.
It's interesting, the song in its rawest elements, like if he sang his songs in just an acoustic guitar, I wouldn't say this one's my favorite, but the production is so cool and changing on every part that I'm just like, I'm in for it.
Exactly. There's like so much to listen to that you can't just hate this whole song in its entirety. It's like there's little pieces that you really like.
There's so much like craft in it that like even if you don't like the tune, you like the song because it just sounds so good.
It's just a man who loves to make music, and he's just good at doing it because he enjoys the passion of it, right?
Yeah, totally. But also this podcast, I've realized I'm always more into the trippy shock value ones more than like the good vibes ones. I would definitely say the first song had a lot of shock value to it.
Yeah. A good way to start the album too.
Yeah.
But what about that transition?
That was nice. I talked through it, but
that's okay. We did the same thing in the first one, but it doesn't matter because you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by like I listened to the first 3 songs and I was like, run it back.
Yeah.
A big part that I like about this song is this like woo in the background here, and it like shifts from speaker to speaker.
This sounds like mid-60s Paul McCartney in the best way possible.
I don't know what that sounds like, but
catchy.
Yes, very catchy.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree.
So the music nerd in me that likes notes other than just the white keys being played, he's so good at that vocally. Like hitting little passing notes that are a little bit chromatic and dissonant. Yeah. I love it. It's brilliant writing, melodic writing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're taking the words right out of my mouth.
As a big fan of Paul McCartney, that's like my in for this song. I'm just like, this is Paul McCartney in the modern era.
Yeah.
I've always thought the worst part about starting an album or a show with a really strong song is that song 2 gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
So even though I didn't enjoy song 2 as much, I'm like, maybe the opening was so strong that I need to pull my ear back a little bit from that. And like, not every song is going to be shock value the whole time.
And this is a typical like Nick Lang song, piano and him singing. A lot of his really popular songs are just very raw like that.
Yeah. I would say any song that's like mostly just a vocal and piano, I'll usually enjoy. Well, just a format I like.
This is this album though, so there's more than one song in a song.
Yeah.
So you know it's gonna get a little bit different at least.
So is he from New York?
No, he's actually from South Africa.
Okay. Yeah.
And he moved to LA. I don't know. He's got a really thick accent. I always think he's Australian. For some reason, I've always thought
there's a bit of a similarity there.
Yeah. Even with like such a calm, peaceful melody, he has a way of bringing you into head nodding for some reason.
Yeah. The rhythmic element is really there.
Yeah.
To me, that style of having such dense music with no kind of dead spots, it shows a lot of, you probably self-critique a lot because you listen and you go, something's not right here. Something's losing me.
There needs to be something else here. I need to fill this space with something.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of
patience,
musical introspection,
and patience, and like working on it over and over and over again. Like he's probably listened to these songs more than I have. Right?
Yeah, 100%. He probably doesn't like these songs. He probably loves them. He made them and they mean a lot, but he probably doesn't like them. I've had many times in my life where I wonder, like, is there a certain type of butterflies that I'm never gonna get again? Have I just grown up? Like, is there a type of butterflies I'll never get from music?
Yeah.
Time and time again, it's been Radiohead who cures that for me. It's different. There's millions of dollars put into one versus the other. But this sounds like it has $1 million put into it, and I'm sure it doesn't.
No, I'm not sure exactly, but I know he worked on it for like years.
Yeah.
Multiple years at a time. This might jolt you awake.
Oh, I remember this. Dude, I had this one on my playlist for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot all about it though until now. This is the one that goes into the harmonica, right?
Yes. This one, he wasn't going to put it on the album. He released it as a single like maybe a month or two before the album's release. And it's called Bobby. And actually, Bobby's just a guy who walks on stilts around New York City, like super tall.
Oh, yeah? Is this one of the ones you don't like as much?
No, I love this one.
Yeah,
it took me a little bit to grow on me. And when he threw it in the album, I was a little bit upset. But dude, this is such a good switch up.
I was really into club music last summer.
Okay,
and this is like
perfect. Yeah. It's just such a different vibe from the rest of the thing. But at like the final point, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna put it in." I like it.
This is what I want EDM to be. This is like the ideal EDM.
Right.
Yeah, there's enough funk like stank to it.
Yeah,
but it's still
stank.
Electronic.
Stank is a good word for it. Also, I love like the can hitting. Like he's hitting a fucking can here.
I love the way the beat comes back in after these little breaks.
Yeah. He's just having fun with it.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like we could like sell beer with this. Like we could make a beer commercial right now.
Holy shit. Why did I think of that? Wow, this would be a perfect, just like throwing a beer to your buddy and yeah. Holy shit.
Like it's dripping down the side of it and stuff. You're saying cheers by the pool.
Nick, if you're watching this, beer commercial to Bobby.
I mean that as the highest compliment.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean it as a tacky way. I'm like, you could sell stuff with that sound. You could sell anything. Yeah. Beer's just a good example.
Yeah.
But when I heard this, I was like, this person obviously respects what's like classically nice about harmonica and folk music, but put like a complete modern spin on it.
Yeah.
It's not like a total rebellion against harmonica music, but it's a whole new way of doing it.
On stage, he had like a little piano that he blew into.
Oh, that's probably just the instrument.
I forget what those are called. I don't know what it's called. We'll put it up there. But
harpsichord? No.
Harpsichord? No, that's a different type of piano.
Harpsichord is like Bach type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I used to know the name of this because I wanted one years ago, but I forgot about it.
Yeah, this is the song that like I was sitting in my chair just like, like whoa, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I think I was playing Civ 6, and my friends were like, "Fucking end your turn already!" I'm just like, "Oh, this is good."
Is this the last one on the side?
I think this is the last one on the side here. So he released these as a single, but it was one song.
Oh yeah.
But then he split it up for the album, and I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just want to listen to that morning part and not the midnight part. And sometimes you want to listen to the midnight part.
Actually, speaking of a small critique, I feel like the album's going really well, but I feel like I would see the single as the edit. And then the album, the one you put together. These songs sound like they could be like international hits.
Oh, absolutely. He's just like, he's never discovered where he needs to be. I don't think he's gotten that luck that a lot of people do.
It's all luck. If you're that good, I feel like your whole life people tell you if you get good enough, you'll get big.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it's not. It's just like the right people have to hear it.
Yeah.
And they have to know which audiences to show it to.
Yep.
But I'm glad you're enjoying it, because this is something that's not really either in my music taste or your music taste.
Yeah.
He goes crazy on stage when he does this part.
I like that.
I know.
Almost weirdly Black Keys. Black Keys.
Oh yeah. That's a good comparison. I can kind of feel him like strutting down like Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but like literally like the Spider-Man dancing meme.
You'd have to have like some unbuttoning going on.
Oh yeah.
Shirt
in the concert, he literally wearing like a really loose like dress shirt top that's completely unbuttoned. It's just his vibe.
Yeah. And he must be good at expressing that vibe, because I picked up on that.
Exactly. You already picture it in your mind. He hasn't even shown you anything about it.
At first I wanted to credit that to like me just picking up on it. But I'm like, no way.
He just showed it to you through sound.
Yeah, it was fed to me on a silver spoon.
All right, so that was the end of side A. There were 7 songs on side A. I'm straight up a 7 out of 7. That's a really strong side A for me. I loved all of it. Like I said, the first 3 songs I went back and listened to before even finishing the rest of the album.
Yeah.
And then Bobby grew on me after a while. And I think that's like the song that I can kind of introduce people into this album with, because it's like, hey, just listen to this nice fucking beat. But yeah, strong 7 for 7 out of me.
Cool.
I don't think you liked Two Birds, but like
I was interested in it, but I would say
wouldn't add it to a playlist.
I would either say a strong 6 or a soft 7. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with strong 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the song Spirals from the album Spirals, and this was the song that was included in one of Apple's promotional.
Yeah, I love.
MacBooks.
Oh.
I've come to offer and I've come to burn. Well, I've come.
And this song's literally 4 songs in one. It's just
that chord there.
Yeah, like, is that what you oohed at earlier?
Yeah. I'll sift through music nerd stuff really quick. He's playing chord progression that's like 1-4, 1-4. Then he goes 1-4, but plays the minor of the 4, and it sounds really beautiful.
That's clean.
Yeah.
God, that sends chills down my spine. It's like the harmonies in the background.
I would say this is my favorite one, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, this is really cool. Whatever that almost slow resolution sounding picking was in that break there, that made my day.
Cool.
I was like, that is so cool. And as someone who really cares about chord progressions, as a musician, I would say I'm a bit of a chord progression snob.
Yeah.
This is super refreshing.
Cool.
Very refreshing. There's so much movement in it. Dude, I get a lot of McCartney vibes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a huge inspiration.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Here it is. It's just so fun, man.
It's so like celebratory.
Yeah.
Like this should be on the radio. I think that's what gets me bitter about the music business sometimes. Is that you hear something that you're like, this has all the things that should be on the radio, and it's not.
Yeah. It's definitely got the radio, the mass appeal, but it's just like it's not really well heard of.
But it has the quality in it too.
Absolutely.
And I'm a true believer that you can have like radio friendly music that's great quality. That this is pop music, but it's really well crafted. Yeah. And like as a Beatles fan, this gives me like, I feel like I'm listening to Magical Mystery Tour right now. I'm like, this is made for the masses in a really beautiful way. Nick Lang, if he's watching this, I hope he appreciates that, because I love Magical Mystery Tour. I'm just gonna like Paul McCartney. I keep mentioning it because like I feel like I'm listening to like, it's like I'm hearing the Beatles again, but it's completely fresh.
For like a first time.
Yeah, it's like
in a modern way.
That joy I got, because like the Beatles is in some way like I could say they're my favorite or one of my favorite bands of like my whole life, but it's so much bubblier than anything else I listen to.
Yeah, compared to everything else that I know that you like.
Yeah,
I would never have expected the Beatles.
But this is doing that same thing for me, where I'm like, this is getting to bubbly Ben. You gotta ask him for me though.
I will send him this video.
If he's into Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will send him this video, and I'm sure that if we have any questions for him, he will answer, and we could probably bring it into the next episode. Be like, last episode we did this, and here are some answers to questions. This is the one that I don't really like.
Okay.
It's pretty popular. It's got a lot of streams on Spotify. He played it at concerts on his Lemons tour before this album was out. I don't know, but when it came out, I listened to it and I was like, you know what, this is kind of okay.
I'm enjoying this. See, the other songs are Paul McCartney. This one's giving me more... I don't know who yet. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
It sounds like something I would listen to. I just don't know what exactly.
If it comes to mind, bring it up. I like the music of this, but when I first hear that little ding ding ding.
Well,
ding,
for one thing, it does have a bit of a John Lennon sound to it.
Maybe he does really like the Beatles.
Yeah. It's giving me that vibe. But maybe I'm just projecting my own world a bit too. Like almost like our taste is similar, but I have a more like ancient like listen to this stuff. Outdated thing. and you're more like this thing is like came out yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
When you become someone who finds the Beatles, it's a lot of music to find at once. And it's all like the most tailored pop songs of the whole decade.
Yeah. Of that time.
Yeah, and this is giving me that vibe.
Did you like that last song?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said in previous videos, sometimes I'm talking over ones I enjoy just because I'm excited.
Yeah.
ADHD.
You got something to say.
Yeah,
that's fine.
The spark's going.
I usually talk over the ones I don't like because I'm like, usually the ones I'm like, Ben, shut the fuck up and listen. But with that one, I'm like, yeah, just tell me more about what you think.
That's the tough thing about this format. I'm trying to, trying to say what I want to say, but pick up on the cues too of like when the best parts are. And I would argue the best music is the stuff that like
many people can agree on.
Yeah, like the songs that you and I agree on this album. Maybe other people would too, because maybe it just maybe some of those songs just break those boundaries more than others.
Yeah. I like this one because it's just so many different weird. I love the way he sings. It's not that it's off key. It's just in an interesting way I've never heard anyone else sing before.
Yeah, it's like he's bending a note a little bit.
Yeah. And it's just like there's so many different things happening at the same time. Together they make the perfect, I don't want to say noise, but like sound and music production creation.
So one interesting metric I like to use when listening to music, and it's a pretty, anyone can use it, is like, how does the passing of time feel when you listen to it? Like there's some songs by like Tom York or whatever where it feels like time is sitting still. There's other songs that feel like time's moving quickly. That last song, it felt like time was sitting still, kind of vibrating, vibey, but like there's something really still about it.
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of just like it's a slowed down of everything else, kind of.
Yeah.
Everything else is like poppy and head banging, but that was just kind of like
you don't notice the passing of time while it's on.
This song is one of the most popular ones, and this actually was just him on a TikTok. He just played the piano. He just played this melody, and people are like, release this.
That's cool.
And he was like, okay, I'll throw it on my album.
Yeah, no, this is right up my alley.
It's an interlude right here. Yes.
Nick Lang, if you make an album of just piano playing like that, I will buy it. That was really nice.
Nick Lang, if you make any more albums, I will buy them.
Yeah, I'll buy them anyways.
This one's really nice. At the end of this album, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite song.
Yeah.
And he did a live stream where I asked him what the meaning of this song was. He's like, of course, every song has different meaning to everyone else. Yeah. But this one's like kind of like the thought of possibly losing his mother, and like just that thought. He doesn't want it to happen. But
can I put a question in the queue in case we ask him questions?
Yeah.
Speaking of meaning, I'd be interested of hearing if the meanings of the songs come to him after, almost like the song's been written for a while and he notices it's probably about this because I was experiencing this, or if it's a conscious like I'm thinking about this right now, I'm gonna sing about it, write lyrics about it.
That's a good question. Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'd love to hear that answer.
Because if he from what you said, it sounds like he has a clear view that every song has a certain meaning,
like,
and I'm like, does that meaning come to you, or is it what starts the song? It'd be cool to know that.
But I really love the chorus on and I think you as a music snob would enjoy the chord progression of just the chorus itself. That's what I really love.
I love a good chorus. Yeah. I love a good chorus.
He'll play it once more here, and then there's a breakdown, and then he does it one more time in like a not an acapella, but like very raw acoustic.
Yeah,
that I really like.
Cool. He must write on piano, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool. He probably figures out ways to move certain piano parts into a synth part, into that part, into the layering of it.
He's really good at that.
Yeah. No, to me, it's an obvious. To me, it feels obvious sometimes when the songwriter is a part of the production, even if it just means they're good at expressing their opinions to the producer. But I respect it a lot. Nice.
Like just what you were talking about.
I would like all pop music if it was this chromatic.
Right.
Chromatic just meaning weird notes, not your typical scales and stuff.
I don't think that would be pop music though. A lot of people don't really like that sort of.
I guess so. Yeah. I guess I see it as poppy because I'm a Beatles fan and their music was very chromatic too. But nowadays, maybe if it's that explorative, then people don't call it pop. It just depends. Like what?
Yeah. I love the transition from that song into this song here.
Ooh.
And I love this song too. It was a really good kind of song for a montage. Like I make year-end videos at the end of every year.
Yep.
And I usually do like, family vacations, things like that. And then I do a section for my friends. And this one was perfect for that. And I might show you that video at the end, cool. Just so you can see how I see this song.
I am enjoying all the unique elements of this too. The Beatles thing is just kind of my I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying this at face value too. I'm not only seeing it through that. But man, it does itch that scratch.
That's good. That's good.
Scratch that itch.
It does.
Nice. Nicer.
Beautiful.
Either he's just has his own skill set and doesn't know a lot of music theory, so he breaks all these boundaries without
making
being held back by any knowledge, or he has so much knowledge that he knows how to mess with the rules.
I think he like doesn't know. I don't know. I don't want to say he doesn't know how to read sheet music, but I think from when I talked to him, he was like he just kind of played what sounded good.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think your first option is what was right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I always find that more interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Someone who knows too much about something is stupid.
Is that the last song on the album?
No.
No? One more?
One more. It's like a small little interlude.
Okay. I've been loving the interludes so far.
Yeah. I wish this was the last song of the album. I don't really like the next song. I feel like the album could have lived without it. Yep. This is such a perfect like way to go down, and I feel like if it didn't have this last song, it could have looped around perfectly again, kind of. But I do like his kalimba. Like the song he released after this was called Monkey's Wedding, and it's kind of the same vibe. I'm pretty sure if he had Monkey's Wedding at the end of this album after this, would have been excellent.
Yeah. I like this one.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm just like to the core devil's advocate, so every time you say you don't like one, I want to like it.
Oh, fuck you, I'm going to like him instead.
It's either that or just like...
But you also love interludes.
Yeah, and like, again, growing up on like 60s rock and stuff, like the idea of like, you got to put the little nugget at the end of the album, like the little things like that.
Okay.
I always enjoy. Could you see this last song just fitting somewhere else on the album at all?
Not on this album.
No.
I feel like it could have been a good... Well, it's called Goodbye, My Friends. So it would have been if he released like Monkey's Wedding on a different album as like the start song, and this was Goodbye, My Friends as the last song. I feel like it would fit that.
Do you like goodbye songs? Billie Eilish has one on her first album. Bo Burnham has one in Inside.
Yeah, okay. I like Goodbye and Bo Burnham's. Goodbye and Billie Eilish's album. I really like that one because she incorporated a little piece of every song.
So cool.
Same with Bo. Yeah. So I love that. I love when they can tie all of their music into one song for somehow magically, and I really like those. So when you
adds a bit more theater to it.
But this one didn't really have what I like about those goodbye songs is the combination of all the other songs. I feel like he's already combined the songs so well into the album that he just threw that in there because he liked the sound of his kalimba.
My Beatles nostalgia really helped me enjoy this album, and if he's not a Beatles fan, I'll be really impressed. Mm-hmm. If he is a Beatles fan, I'll be just as impressed, because whether it's unconscious or not, it's fun really to relive that nostalgia.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, so now thinking about side B, there's 8 songs on side B. So that's a total of 15. 8 plus 7 is 15. Yeah, good. Quick maths. For me, I love Spirals, Coffee and Fruit. Easy, never. I've never really found a way to enjoy that song. I think the chorus is really great, but I think the start of it, kind of like Wakey Wakey Rise and Shine on the Radiohead song, as soon as I hear that, I'll just skip it if I have to. But when I listen to it on the album, I like it, but I can't add it to a playlist, so that's a no from me. 1, 2, I love Pullover, Glisten by the Wind, Candles, Root. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a 6 out of 8 on that backside. So that puts me at 13 out of 15. For you liked 6. You didn't like Two Birds.
And then I liked all 8 on the second
You liked
side.
all 8.
My ranking system is always... I'm almost always scoring like higher than you, even if I'm being more critical throughout. There's just something about the way we critique that's different.
I feel like, for me, you like all ranges of music. You'll absolutely love anything that's kind of given to you, and when you sit next to someone who really appreciates it, it kind of gets you in the vibe more. But for me, I'm really critical about music. Yeah. And that's why, like, I don't think I've ever rated an album perfectly.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I would definitely say that, like, kind of like you were saying, I'm so easily amused by music that if I sit down, we're in a context right now where I want to listen to this album. It's different than, like, maybe I would have ranked some of the songs differently if I was listening to them with my morning coffee.
Or maybe it's just like a different mood entirely.
Yeah, because like something has to. Yeah, like there's things I listen to that I make time for,
right?
And I feel like I made time for this, so I'm just ready for the experience.
Yeah, you were out of 14 out of 15. Yeah, so 13 and 14. Really, that's really good. Like, I fucking love this album. I don't know how many times I've already said it. This is an album that made me fly out to New York to go to his show, because holy shit, this album was great. And like, I didn't even know the vinyls were going to be there. When they were there, I immediately had to buy them. It was so hard shoving this in my luggage without it getting like shattered on the way home. I was actually really terrified. All right. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening to Spirals by Nick Lang with us. It's an album that is really special to me. And Nick, if you're watching, I hope you're watching. I hope you made it to the end here. I hope I didn't critique you too hard. You know how much I love music and how perfect it is. And I hope everything Ben said is to your liking as well.
I hope so, because I really enjoyed it. There's a certain way of picking at music that I just find fun. It doesn't even mean I would have the same feeling tomorrow. There's just I like poking at things whenever I have the chance, and I didn't even feel like I had the chance a lot.
Right. So if you were to go home and just, would you listen to this album again? Like you said so many times that it's like a refreshing Beatles vibe to you.
Yeah.
So you would probably put this on. And my other question to you is, would you put on songs like randomly, or just add them to playlists, or would you listen to it front to back again?
It's hard to say.
Sometimes you just don't have the time to listen to something front to back, for sure.
I know the context I would listen to it. I listen to music all day, so sometimes I'm going back to stuff I loved as a kid. I would listen to this probably on the same day I would listen to Magical Mystery Tour, which is kind of just a compilation of Beatles singles, but from a certain era that reminds me of this a lot. So I would probably listen to it on one of those throwback days and then be like, okay, I'm going to jump into the modern stuff that reminds me of this.
A different feeling.
So I'd probably listen to the album all at once, and especially when I'm in that mood that I just said.
I just feel like this album is something that you do have to listen to front to back, because nearly every song transitions into the next one. And when I'm pretty sure my Apple Music replay from last year or something, it was like all of the songs like nearly in a row.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of other songs that I would listen to in between. But it was actually like within the top 25, all of the songs were in there. And it was just like they were almost at the exact location that they were in the album, except some of them were just like swapped. So that just goes to show how many times I actually listened to the fucking thing. It's incredible. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.